boys and girls. We're going to continue our lesson today on math strategies to help us with addition and subtraction. Remember, our standard tells us that we can fluently add and subtract within 20 using mental strategies. So we're not going to draw pictures. We're not going to do anything that takes a lot of time. We're going to use our mind and quickly come up with the answers. So on our last lesson, we learned about fact families, which is a review from first grade. And we're going to talk a little bit more about another strategy that can help you with your fact families. And that is counting on. That is also a strategy that you've also learned, but we're going to take it to the next level. So, what you can do, think I can use counting on as a strategy. Now, what if we have a subtraction problem? Think 11 minus 8. Remember, Miss Fires told you it's hard sometimes to count backwards. So instead of counting back, we can use the strategy of counting on because we're used to counting on. Or we can think of it as an addition problem, and we're just missing that middle add-end. So we can say 8 plus what number would give us 11, that big number. So, we can use a chart to help us. Let's look at your workbook page, the next page in the packet. If you don't have it, get it and pause the video. Miss Byers got excited and started, so if you don't have it, pause and get it. Right now, we're going to think 8 plus what number gives us 11. Right? We put the number 8 in our head. So on our table, we would circle 8 because that's the number in our head. Now, we can mark each box to count until we get to 11. That's the same thing as if you were putting up a finger for each number as you count on your way to 11. So we're going to start with 8. It's in your head. You don't make a mark on the number in your head. You make a mark for each one you count on. So let's count on until we get to the number 11. Number in your head is 8. Get ready. 9, 10, 11. So, how many numbers did you count on? We can tell by the marks. Let's count the marks. 1, 2, 3. So how many numbers did you count on? 3. You can do the same thing without making marks. Start with 8 in your head. And let's count on to 11. 8, 9, 10, 11. Did we still get 3? Yes, we did. Yes, we did. So now we have the 3 numbers in our fact family. They are 8. What's the missing number? Yes, 3. And 11. If I want to draw my triangle, I could. It always helps Miss Fires to have that visual. So I'm going to put 8, 3, and 11. 8, 3, and 11. Now I can make my fact family. Alright, they helped us get started. Our big number is at the end when we add. We take 2 small amounts and put them together to make the bigger number. 8 plus what equals 11? It is 3. Now, we we need to switch it around to get our other addition fact. So what would that fact be? Yes, we would switch these two. 3 plus 8 equals 11. So write it on your paper. 3 plus 8 equals 11. And then we subtract. When we subtract, we start with the large amount and take away. 11 minus 8 equals what number? Yes, it equals 3. Now remember, the first number when you subtract is the larger number, so which number is first? Yes, 11, your bigger number. And now we start this way. 11 minus 3 equals 8. Check your work. Now the next part says reflect or work with a partner. You're going to have to work with someone at home and think. All right, talk about it. You want to count on to find 2 plus 6. What number would you start with and why? All right, so I want you to think about this. If you are going to add 2 plus 6, which number would you put in your head? The 2 or the 6? And why? Which number would you put in your head? 2 or the 6, and why? Pause the video and share with someone at home which number you would put in your head and why, and then we'll go over the answer. Okay, either way, you would still get the correct answer. So, I could put the 2 in my hand and 6 on my fingers and count up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My answer is 8. Or I could put 6 in my hand and 2 on my fingers. 6, 7, 8. Which way would be the easiest and quickest way to mentally add? It is easier to put the big number in your head and count on the smaller number. It is easier to do it that way because you make less mistakes to have the bigger number in your head and the smaller number on your fingers or on your chart. You just make less mistakes that way, so you can do it either way. But I would suggest that you always put the bigger number in your hand and the smaller number on your fingers. So it says write about it. It's wanting you to explain it in words. So if Miss Spires were writing, I would say I would start with the number 6 because it is the larger number. So I'm going to write that on my paper. I'm going to check over my writing to make sure it makes sense. I would start with 6 and count on 2 because it is the larger number. That way it makes sense and it's less mistakes made if I start with a larger number. Or you think of a way to put that into words and write it on your paper. Doesn't have to be exactly like Miss Fires. The older you get in school, the more and more that you're going to have to put your thoughts, especially about math, into words. Explain how you got your answer. Now, as a few people are finishing up, I'm going to go back and remind you, remember a fact family uses 3 numbers to make 4 facts, 2 addition and 2 subtraction, and we only use those 3 numbers. We do not let a stranger in our fact families. No stranger danger. We only use the same 3 numbers to make our facts correct. Now, what we're going to do today is do a little practice with making fact families, and you're going to do it with Google Slides. So I'm going to exit out of this. So at home, when you pull yours up, it will look like this. It's a whole presentation of fact family pages that you can work on. All right, in the directions for your lesson, you're only required to do 3 slides today. If you are on a roll and you feel like you want to do more than that, that's perfectly fine. But you're only required to do 3 slides today. That will make 12 problems. So that's all we have to do. All right, so your directions: complete the fact families. Now I'm going to go down and pull up one that looks like today's. All right, and you and your child can practice. You don't have to type it in. You can just orally do it. You can have them write them. It's totally up to you how you want to practice. All right, so 3 plus what number equals 11? All right, we just learned how to do this. So we start with 3 and count up to what number, boys and girls? 11. 3 in your head. Count up. Get ready. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What number? Yes, 8. So Ms. Spires has the tools to write in it. I'm going to write. So 3 plus 8 equals 11. Now, I have a subtraction problem. Blank minus 3 equals 8. Now, I'm going to use my mental math and my knowledge of fact families I have a 3. I have an 8. What number am I missing, boys and girls? Yes, I'm missing my 11. 11 minus 3 equals 8. The next one, 8 plus 3 equals blank. All right, look at your fact families. What number are we missing? All right, it is 11, but we can check ourselves. 8, count on 3, 8, 9, 10, 11. We are right. And then 11 minus 8 equals blank. What number from our fact family are we missing? Now we have our 11, we have our 8, we are missing our 3. Missing our 3. Alright, so you can practice 3 slides. So this is 1 slide. After I do this one, I need to do 2 more today. And then don't forget, every day we need to sign in to Reflex Math and try to get at least green light or 20 minutes a day. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a good day.